Well, I wasn't even sure if I would be able to get on this walk this morning, because I blocked my neck by doing, I don't know what I even did. I was trying to sleep, and then I guess I was gonna try to turn, and I did this like sort of stretching like movement. Like I put my head towards the wall. Like, I don't know, I did some sort of a contortion, and something just snapped in my neck, and it hurt. It hurt like hell. Like, wow, man, like that was a pain I haven't felt in a long time. And I was like, oh fuck. And I was like my girlfriend was asleep, and so I was trying not to wake her up, but I tried not to wake her up, but it hurt like hell. And I was there like whining, on the bed. And then she woke up, and she was asking me what happened. And so I told her, and I could barely move. It was like really, really bad. And she she's doing traditional Chinese medicine, so she took out her needles, acupuncture needles, and let's go that way. By the way, let's do a little bit of a detour, or not detour, but just let's go a different way. By the way, what we're hearing up front is a song thrush. You can hear the repetitions. Yeah, and there are two actually, just one there. There's one over there. Yeah, doing a little song battle, or just like holding their own territories, Yeah, right above us right now. You can beautifully hear the repetitions. That's a classic song thrush. Turdus Philomelos. And I don't know where Drake went now. To the right. Okay, he's back. So she's doing oh, there's some animals. So she's doing traditional Chinese medicine, and she took out her acupuncture needles, and she started doing some sort of points for a blocked neck. And there was an immediate relief. Like I could feel it really as she was puncturing my skin with the needles. I felt immediate relief. I remember that. But it still did hurt if I moved. And so I was there for a moment, and then she did some like massage, and then she did some more acupuncture points on my shoulders, or it's not really shoulders, I don't know what it's called, that part, but like just beside the neck, on the in between the shoulders and the neck, trapeze, whatever. So she did some points there. By the way, there was you know what, blackcap. It's not singing now because we stopped, but yeah, no. That was a blackcap, and now I'm here, fortunately. So it still hurts. So I was just gonna say, if I whine at some point and I'm like, oh, that's because of that, because I'm walking as if I would have a ruler in my throat. It's like my neck is totally stiff, and I don't turn my head much. But it's way better than it was in the morning, that's for sure, and I can somehow function. But damn, that was quite a pain. Hold on, I'm gonna take Drake here. Whoop, buddy. Let's go on a little tour through the brambles. The goodest of all the boys in the world. That's what I told him this morning. That he's the goodest of all the boys. There you go, buddy. Oh, Lord. That hurts. Yeah. It still hurts, but yeah, she helped me a lot. She helped me a lot with those acupuncture points, and really, like, it was amazing. Like, it was really, I was really in pain, and as soon as she started doing that acupuncture, it immediately went away. It still hurt when I moved, but then when I was still, it didn't hurt anymore. So that was really, really cool. And you know, right now I'm carrying Drake. I'm like bending over and all that, and it's fine. It's like, now it's like a moderate pain, really. And I believe it's gonna get much better throughout the day. I'm not gonna do any workout today, though. But yeah, that was interesting. Sort of. I was already kind of woke up, but there was a harsh waking up. Anyways, that was a black cap on the. That was a wren. Long song, high pitched, sort of fast paced. Yeah, it's interesting how wow, look at that. That's what I was talking about. See this, that's a walnut, this here. This leafless sort of small tree. And see how the tips, like that's where the leaves, the fresh leaves were. See how they're black? It is all frozen. I've never ever seen that. You know, I don't recall seeing a frozen walnut. That's just, you know, or frostbitten walnut. I don't know how that's called when that happens, but frostbitten walnut, that's like completely unheard of. You know, and it is exactly as I was saying yesterday. It's because it was 4 weeks ahead. And by the time usually walnuts sprout their leaves, see here as well. I don't know if you can see it, but hold on, I'm gonna position myself a little better. This whole thing is a walnut, and it's all frozen up entirely. So, yeah, they usually, when they sprout their leaves, it's already way past the last frost. But this year, when you had almost 30 degrees, I'm pretty sure it was 30 degrees on the sun. 30 degrees in beginning of April, you know, or end of March, then they are just 4 weeks ahead. And then boom, last frost, and their leaves get burned by the frost. And really, I don't recall that happening ever in my life. I don't recall that, seeing frostbitten walnut leaves, really. That's quite unusual. I mean, you see a lot of other things that get affected by the frost, but walnut is a hardy species of a tree. I mean, that's like, you know, walnut. I mean, that's a, you know, as hardy as it gets, you know. But not the fresh leaves are just not ready for frost. They're not made to withstand the frost. If you look at the other, I don't know, for instance, here you have oak, you know, and that is like, you know, oaks do sprout much sooner than walnuts, so they are made to withstand that. And you can see that those leaves are pretty much, you know, unfazed by the frost. They're fine. They're very fresh, but they're fine. There's no sign of frostbitten. Wow, look at this beautiful. I love that valley. You get that, like the hills, how they're like falling into each other, and they have all these different layers, and very beautiful. This would be an outstanding painting. This whole view with the watchtower on the top. Very cool. Very beautiful. Yeah. So as you can see, for instance, oak is totally fine, and its leaves are in the same sort of stage as the walnut ones, but walnuts, I guess they need higher temperatures to start sort of like being active and to start growing the leaves. And oaks really don't. So like it was cold and all of a sudden it was very warm, and usually it's like slightly warm, so only oak leaves start to sprout. And I don't know, for instance, the linden tree like here, right? So these get started, but walnuts are behind because they're waiting for those sort of higher temperatures, which come only after the frost. But this year, boom, you know, it just went straight all in. And so everything started to grow all of a sudden, including walnuts. And then the last frost hit. And yeah, that happened. And now they're all frost burnt. I guess maybe you could call it a frost burn. By the way, that up there, I don't know if you can hear probably, but it's like that's a by the way, that is a grated. I've never heard a song like that before. That. And that's like, you could say, oh wow, that's very interesting. I've never heard that before. What kind of a rare bird is that? But that's actually a great tit. That's what I said in a couple of videos. One of the most confusing birds, because gray tit has this classic, that's a classic textbook example of its song. But there are so many individuals and birds out there who just sing a different version of it, and each one is unique. And it's not a standard, really. It's not like every bird has a different song. Most of them have this, but then you have these slight deviations and variations, and they can confuse the hell out of you, you know. But after some time, you get to appreciate the sort of common aspects of their voice and common aspects of their songs, and you also get to sort of get the sort of overall theme of all those variations, although they're different and unique and completely different and completely sort of takes a different turn and different twist to the original sort of, or like the standard song of a great tit. There is something to them which tells you, oh, that's a great tit. But mostly it's like, oh, this is a weird song I've never heard before. And if it has this sort of same tempo and sort of same pitch, you know it's a great tit. But it takes a lot of time to get used to it. It gets a lot of time to hear a lot of those different variations, a lot of confusions, until you really get it, you know, until you start to hear that. Because for me it took years, and I was multiple times I was confused by a great tit. And just listening to, okay, that's a chiff-chaff right there, yeah. I think I'm hearing the woodlark from the far distance. Yeah, it's there definitely, but it's hard to hear. But yeah, it took me a couple of years to sort of get there, you know, and there were a lot of moments when I was like, wow, what is this bird? And I was trying to search for it with my binoculars, and then I saw it's a great tit. I was like, what? And that happened like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times. And see, now I'm not getting fooled anymore. This one was not that confusing, but it was definitely a song I've never heard before. The variation I've never ever heard before. But I kind of already sort of know, like, I don't know, I sort of get the overall sort of theme, the overarching theme of these great hit song variations. Although there are some that are extremely confusing. Sometimes there are birds that even feel, it sounds like they have a defect with their vocal cords, and it's like a different pitch, and it doesn't sound like anything. Wow, holy moly, you see that? Wow, I don't have my glasses, but are there stags? I think there are stags, man. I think I see antlers. Or are those? Oh, look at Drake running towards them. They're unfazed, they're not moving. Can you see that? Oh, now they're moving. Wow, they're huge. Look at them. Wow. Yeah, there's a stag in front. Holy. Oh, they said they're. Oh, come on, Drake, leave them alone. Wow, look at that. Holy shoot. Yeah, they're definitely stags. There's one. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. Wow. And they were kind of chill, right? I thought they were gonna run away like pretty fast, but they're pretty chill. They're like galloping away more, like not really running. I'm kind of surprised they just don't charge at Drake, you know, because they're like, what, 10 times bigger than him, or 20 times? And they're, you know, running away from him, and they're like their numbers, right? I mean, they could just turn towards him, and he would he would just run away, scared like hell. Wow, man, that was so cool. You don't see stags here at all that often. I think I've seen them like, Dejku, pojď tady jdeme, nechybejt. Leave him alone, buddy. Leave him alone. Ah, good boy. Wow, how long it took for them to move, right? He was running towards them, and they were like, what is this strange creature? There's things that it can do something to us when we were like 20 times bigger than him. We're like completely unfazed. And then they were like, I guess we should run, right? That's what we do usually, right? We run away. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, that was cool. Wow, that was amazing. And see, at one point there was a doe that got separated, and they were running in opposite direction, but they saw she got separated, and they turned around and ran towards her, so they wouldn't get, you know, pushed apart. That's pretty cool. They went back for her. Nice. And yeah, they were like, I think there were like 3 or 4 stags I've seen. Definitely one with very, I hope it's gonna be visible on the video, but even I saw it without the glasses. They were like large antlers sitting on top of one of the stag's head. So that was probably an old male. And there were a couple of others which also had antlers as well. But those were red deer, the large ones that, again, you don't see here as often. The white deer, the little damn it, you know, the herd we've seen. The herd we've seen with the white doe, those were red deers too, and that's the ones I kind of meet here and there. But funnily enough, seeing a stag here is even rarer than seeing that white deer here, the white red deer doe. And I think I've seen stags here, well, I would say probably twice. in those 4 years. So this is probably third time I've seen them. So that was really, really cool. And from up close, I've never seen them this close before. That was really something. Nice, and I'm glad I got it on camera, because this could have happened over the weekend, and I'm like, ah, damn. Very cool. And I like how they were kind of relaxed, really, even with Drake charging at them. They're like, eh, you know, not really giving a damn. Wow, that was a nice experience. Wow, look at the how it flowered. The I mean, it's not that I notice it now, but look at how yellow it is. What is it? The canola. Yeah, the canola plants. Yeah, canola is one of the most sort of favorite, quote unquote, crop that is being grown here in Czech Republic. So when you're here, you see canola fields all everywhere. It's like yellow and yeah, I mean, it's not really great. For one, you know, monocultures and yeah, it's just not ideal. But no monoculture is great, really, not just canola one. But yeah, I believe they're used to make like oils for like, you know, food industry, but they're also grown for as far as I know, for fuel, for like a sort of biofuel for cars, you know, and other machinery. And I guess there's a lot of money in it. Yeah. So I guess the reason why it's grown so much is because it's like profitable, quite a lot, and probably easy to grow as well. It seems like a plant that is very easy to grow. Yeah. But as we've learned, or as I've learned, and I don't know if you've seen the video, you learned as well, if you didn't know that before, canola is actually poisonous. At least some of the varieties of canola is poisonous to deer. So if these guys would go and munch on that canola, it wouldn't be the strain or the variety that doesn't contain the compound, which I mentioned, I don't remember its name anymore. The S-methyl something, whatever, some chemical compound that breaks down in their stomach into a toxin that attacks their organs. It breaks down their blood cells, and it can and most that or very often it kills them, and when they eat enough or too much, it just kills them, you know. They have an organ failure and they die. And that deer that I've came across with Drake, and that I carried all the way to the garden, that one was poisoned by the canola. But it fortunately, I hope, it made it because, you know, it walked away on its own in the evening. So I believe it's in good health. Otherwise, it's most likely would already die. But yeah, that's the culprit, the canola over there growing, the yellow field up there. And I mean, it's, you know, in a way, I guess it's kind of beautiful when you look at it from the sort of different angle, you know, not knowing that it's canola. Yeah, it's like all yellow. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful, I would say. Yeah. But, you know, a little field would suffice, I guess. And you could have more of a diversity regarding the crop and everything. But yeah, this other field, I think that's gonna be some grain. You know, I don't know, either wheat or yeah, most probably wheat. That's most likely a wheat. Or barley, yeah, or barley. And that other field up there as well. Fortunately, you know, before it was a canola last year, I mean. And I'm glad it's not canola this year, because canola smells quite a lot. If you've ever been to a canola field, or ever like camped or have a house close to a field where canola is being grown, then you know what I'm talking about. It smells like hell, especially when it's like sort of moist, and you know, after rain or before rain, and it's like colder, and you get this like sort of like a cabbage rotten kind of smell. It smells a lot. And when it's flowers, you have a pollen absolutely freaking everywhere. Where you look in your car, in your house, in your windows, like there is pollen absolutely everywhere, and it smells too. So canola is not an ideal crop to have planted on the field next to your house, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off now.